I don't usually talk about this night anymore. It happened 3 years ago, and even now, when I think about it, every hair on my body stands up. People think they know what fear is: dark rooms, strange noises, creaking floors. But fear, real fear, is when you feel something is wrong, but you can't explain it, and you can't escape it. My name doesn't matter, because after this story, you'll understand why I don't want anyone connecting it back to me. But everything you're about to hear is true. Nothing is exaggerated. Nothing is added for drama. That night, I was alone. My parents had gone out of town for a wedding, and my brother lived in another state. The house was all mine. I remember feeling good, excited for a quiet weekend. I planned to watch movies, order food, and get some work done. I didn't know that within a few hours, I'd be wishing for anything but silence. It started around 11:40 p.m. I was sitting in the living room, lights off except for the warm glow of the TV. The weather was cold. The wind outside had that soft, ghostly whistle to it. I wasn't scared, yet. Around midnight, my phone buzzed. I thought it was a random spam call. I declined it and went back to watching TV. A minute later, the phone buzzed again. Unknown number. I declined it again. Then, it buzzed a third time. This time, I hesitated. I didn't answer it, but I didn't decline it either. I just stared at the screen until it stopped ringing. A weird feeling crawled up my back. Not fear, just that small, uncomfortable awareness that usually comes before fear. To shake it off, I got up and headed into the kitchen to grab something to drink. As soon as I stepped into the kitchen, I stopped. The back door leading into our yard was unlocked. I knew for a fact I had locked it earlier. I always locked it. It was an automatic habit. But now, the lock was turned. Maybe I forgot, I told myself. Even though I knew I hadn't, I locked it again, double-checking it, then triple-checking it, and returned to the living room. For a while, nothing happened. I started scrolling through my phone, half watching my show, and eventually got comfortable again. Maybe I had forgotten. Maybe I was on edge because of the late-night spam calls. But then, around 1:10 a.m., I heard something, a single sound, a soft, slow click, like someone pressing a door handle. I muted the TV. There it was. The sound was coming from the back door. My heart started beating so loudly, I could hear it in my ears. I didn't move, didn't breathe. I just listened. Another click, another attempt, as if someone was gently testing the handle from the outside. And then, silence. The kind of silence that makes your skin cold, like the air itself is scared to move. I grabbed the nearest thing, a heavy glass candle holder, and slowly walked to the back door. I don't know what I expected to see. A face through the window? Movement in the yard? Nothing? But what I saw was worse. The door was unlocked again. I had locked it, and now it was unlocked. I stepped back, my breath catching in my throat. It didn't make sense. No one could have opened it unless they were inside already. I spun around, scanning every dark corner of the kitchen, the hallway, the living room. Every shadow felt alive. I was seconds away from calling the police when something stopped me. Something even more terrifying than the idea of an intruder. Footsteps, slow, deliberate. Upstairs, someone was walking in the hallway above me. I froze. The steps weren't loud. They were soft, like someone trying not to be heard. I backed up until I felt the wall behind me. I don't know how long I stood there, staring at the ceiling, listening. The footsteps moved from the hallway to my parents' room, paused, then moved again, this time toward the top of the stairs. I ran to the front door, ready to bolt into the night, even if it was freezing out. But when I grabbed the knob, it didn't budge. Not because it was locked, But because something was holding it from the other side, I yanked it harder. Nothing. It felt like someone was holding it with their entire body weight. I stepped back, shaking, staring at the wood as if expecting a face to push through it. That's when the footsteps upstairs started moving faster. Whoever was up there had realized I was at the front door. I heard them rush across the hallway, running quickly down the stairs. My survival instinct finally kicked in. I sprinted to the garage. The interior door opened easily, thank God. I switched the lights on and grabbed the first thing I saw, a metal flashlight. The garage door opener button was right above me. I slammed it. The garage door started rising slowly, painfully slow, making that metallic clattering sound. Behind me, from inside the house, I heard the sound of someone stepping onto the ground floor. The steps were purposeful, coming straight towards the garage door. I didn't look back. I dropped down and rolled out under the rising garage door, scraping my elbows on the concrete. The freezing night air hit my face like ice needles. I ran barefoot across the driveway and didn't stop until I reached the sidewalk. I turned toward my house just in time to see nothing. No one came out. No face at the door. No figure in the window. Nothing. Just my house. Dark and quiet, like nothing had happened. I was trembling so hard I nearly dropped my phone when I called the police. The dispatcher kept asking if I was injured, if I was safe, what I had seen. I told her someone was inside the house, that I'd heard footsteps, and that the back door kept unlocking itself, that someone held the front door closed. The police arrived quickly. I watched them enter the house with flashlights. They searched every room, every closet, every crawl space. Nothing. Every door was locked, every window sealed. There was no sign of forced entry. When the officers finally came back outside, one of them asked if I'd been sleep deprived, if I had taken anything, if maybe I had mistaken the wind or the settling of the house for footsteps. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Maybe it was possible, I thought. Maybe my mind had filled in the blanks. Maybe I wanted to see a threat where there wasn't one. But then one of the officers said something that froze my blood. "The back door," he said. "Did you leave it unlocked?" "No," I said instantly. "I locked it twice." He looked at me, then looked back at the house. "Well," he said, "it was unlocked when we went in." My mouth went dry. "And the front door?" I asked. "Did it open normally?" He nodded. "Opened fine." "Why?" I didn't answer. Because I remembered the resistance, something holding it shut from the outside. The police stayed another 20 minutes, asking standard questions, patrolling the street, reassuring me it was safe. But the moment they left, I didn't go back inside. I sat in my car with all the lights on until the sun came up. Even then, I didn't enter until a friend arrived to check the house with me. We didn't find anything, not a single sign of an intruder, but there was one thing, one detail I can never forget. The closet door in my bedroom was open. I never left it open. I hated that closet. It was cramped and shadowy, and the handle stuck so badly that you had to yank it open. But that morning, it was open just an inch, like someone had been inside, listening, waiting. I moved out a month later. To this day, I don't know what was in that house. A person? Something else? My own imagination? But here's the truth I can't shake. Doors don't unlock themselves. Footsteps don't appear without feet. And no matter what the police said, something held that front door shut. Something was inside the house with me. And I thank God every day that I didn't turn around to see what it was.